does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review. Cheers! By BoardGameExchange.com, and it's the only board game rental website. Today, I'm very excited to be checking out Worker Placement from Daisakami Publishing Company. This is for 2 to 5 players, ages 10 and up, and it'll take about 45 minutes to play. And in Worker Placement, you guessed it, this is a worker placement game where you're going to be putting different workers into different jobs, trying to maximize the amount of money that you are taking in. The person who gets the most money is going to be the winner. Sound intriguing? Let's open it up and see how it plays. Alright, so inside of worker placement, let's take a look at what you're going to get. As I always like to mention, this is a promotional copy of the game. Yours is going to look a lot nicer this with wooden pawns and components and whatnot that look really, really cool. First and foremost, I want to give a big shout out to Daisakami Publishing Company because they did a fantastic job on this rule booklet. It is 8 pages, double-sided, full color, plenty of examples, outstanding rule booklet, probably one of the best rule booklets I've ever gotten for a Kickstarter prototype. Thumbs up, fantastic. Next, we're going to go over all the different components you're going to get. I'm not going to go into too much what they do. I'll just do a mock hand, but we're just going to go over what you're going to get. You're going to get your cubes. You're going to get 4 colors of wooden cubes. You got green, red, yellow, and black. You are going to get your pawns. You'll get 5 pawns, which you'll be using to place around the board. Since this is a worker placement game, named Worker Placement, quite clever. I do like the name. You're going to get cards. You're going to get 3 kinds of cards. First, you're going to get these red cards. These are just used to decide who goes first. Because you're going to be keeping track of how many thumbs, how reputable you are, and that will decide who is going to be the first player each and every turn as you move along this track. Next, you're going to get these, what are they called? I believe they're called business cards. And in these business cards, there's 3 different kinds of cards. You're going to have workers, and these ones are blank because I'm assuming you'll be able to be one of these people if you contribute enough on the Kickstarter. And they will have different skills. This guy is worth a green cube and a black cube. So you don't have to have those cubes. You just have those in your hand. You just have to lay it down. This is worth just 1 yellow cube. And the last and third kind of cards are management cards. And they will have various different things you can do. So this says you automatically claim position 1 at the player order track next round. So that's pretty cool. So no matter what your reputation is, you'll instantly be able to be the first player to go. Some of them will give you cards. Some will give you money. Some will let you steal cards from other people. They do a lot of various different things. Up here, you are going to have your orange/red cards, which are going to be your job cards. This is where the real humor of the game comes in, because this is a funny game. Like, legitimately, you will be laughing at various points throughout the game. So let's take a look at this one. This is a nocturnal lumberjack. If you can successfully fill this job, you will gain $5 cash. You will get 1 thumbs up reputation, and in order to fill it, you're going to need 2 yellow cubes, a red cube, and a black cube, and also you're obviously going to have a worker to fill the job. So, what are you trying to do in the game? You're trying to get the most money. That's it. Simple as that. You're going to be keeping track of your money around the board on the track, and your money is your victory points. But you're going to be gaining this money by filling these jobs. You can also play some management cards, which will give you money, but primarily your major sources of money are going to be filling jobs. You're going to be doing this over 5, 8, or 12 turns. If you want to play a short game, you can do 5 turns. 8 is a medium game, and 12 is a long game, and the track is right over here. Let's get to the board, though, because the board is really the star of the show in this game, because this is a worker placement game. You're going to have 3 pawns. You're going to be placing them in various different spots around the board, and you're going to be able to do different things depending on where you play them. So, like this spot over here will just give you 2 thumbs up, which will help you go first on various different turns. This spot right here would give you a red cube. This one will give you a black cube, a yellow cube, so on and so forth. This spot will just give you $2. This spot over here will let you discard the cards in your hand and draw new cards. This spot over here is one you really should get acquainted with. This is going to let you fill a job. Now, normally it's free to place your workers all around the board. However, there's some spots like these which will charge you. They charge you the second time. So the first person who comes here is going to get a yellow cube, and they'll be like, yeah, I get a yellow cube and I don't have to pay anything. However, the second person is now going to have to pay $1 because there's already somebody there. This third person that comes there is going to have to pay $2. So you're losing 2 victory points doing that. So you're really going to have to decide if you really want that yellow cube that bad or if it can wait. So let's get to a quick mock hand so you can see how the game works. The last thing I forgot to mention is the auction system over here, but I'll show you how that works in a second. So we're going to do a quick little mock 2-player hand, yellow versus black, and you're going to be dealt 4 of the career cards. You're going to look at those, and then you're going to determine the player order. At the beginning of the game, you're just obviously just going to look and say, oh, okay, I got the 2, I got the 1, so I get to go first. Black gets to go first for this example. Next, you're going to reveal jobs. You're going to have a minimum of 4 jobs up here. So up here we have our Nocturnal Lumberjack, we have our Meaning Extractor, we have our Embalmer Apprentice, and then we have our Fluffer. So you're going to be trying to fill these jobs. Next, you're going to draft business cards, because there's drafting in this game, a mechanic I really do enjoy. So everybody's going to get 3 cards. So you're going to have 3 of these cards. You're going to keep them separate from your cards. And what you're going to do is you're going to keep 1 card. You might say, all right, I'm going to keep this card. You're going to hand your opponent 1 card. So I'll say, oh, okay, you can have this red. And then you're going to set one of these cards down here on the auction block. So let's just say boom, boom, and boom. Then you'll fill it in, so you always have 3. And now you're going to be bidding on these 3 things. Obviously, the first turn, you don't have any money, so, well, actually, sorry, you start at $5. My mistake. So you're going to be bidding on it. How you do this is you say, all right, I'm going to go here and here, and you're going to fill it in, and it says 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. Now, if you're bidding on one particular thing, like you really want this card, you don't want anything else, you better make sure you get it, because if you don't get it, you're still going to have to pay for 2nd or 3rd place to pick up the cards. They can get pretty tense, especially if you're like, oh my goodness, I want that card, but I don't want to pay $4 to get it, because that's 4 victory points. I also want to say that the auctioning, even in a 2-player game, works very, very well. They did this. They did a fantastic implementation of this. So now we've got our cards and we are ready to play. Oh, first you're going to reveal your jobs, and we already did that. Now we're going to discard the cards down here that didn't get purchased, and we're going to place our workers. This is the real heart of the game. So the first person is going to be whoever has the most thumbs up, and they are going to go first. They're going to get to place their worker wherever they would like. So let's take a look at our hand and see what we got here. So I got a worker with 2 yellow cubes, so it's essentially worth 2 yellow cubes. I have a green cube. I have this management card, which will let me gain $5. That's a really nice card. I have another worker who's worth a green cube and a black cube. I have a red cube, and I have a guy that'll give me gain $4. Now, what's the difference between the red cube and the red card? There is no difference, except this everyone's going to be able to see, and this is hidden in your hand. So I'm looking here, and I'm like, all right, can I fill any jobs? No, I can't fill any jobs right off the get-go, so what I'm going to do is I am going to place my worker down here so I can get a yellow cube. So I place this right here, and now I gain 1 yellow cube, put it in front of me, and now it's my opponent's turn. So he'd look at his cards, and he'd decide what he's going to do, and he's going to say, oh, you know what? I'm going to play this card right here. This card is a management card. So this will let me play one of the cards out of my hand. And I'm going to play this, and you know what? I get to steal $2 from 2 opponents each, or $4 from 1 opponent. So I'm going to steal $4 from the black guy. So he would go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and I would go down to $1. That's a great start for him. Next, I would say, but you know what? It's my turn, and I'm going to place my worker on fill a job, and now I would have this guy, which will give me 2 yellow cubes, and then I would have my yellow cube. I would turn in all 3 of these, and I would then become the Fluffer. And I do want to read this description because I really do enjoy the humor in this game. The description says, the Fluffer is a task-oriented candidate responsible for massaging and gently shaking demonstration pillows to obtain a fuller, cloud-like consistency for a national mattress company. Not exactly the Fluffer I was thinking about when I first read the card. But anywho, I would gain $4, and then the next guy would place his thing, and he might want to gain $2 right off the get-go, so he'd just place there, so He'd go up to 10, 11, and then I'd say, you know what, I want a red cube, and I would gain a red cube, and he would gain a green cube, and then that would be the end of the round. We would reset the board, which means we'd take off all of our stuff, and we would move up 1 on the round marker, because the round marker is going to be going up until you get to 5, 8, or 12, as I mentioned. And that's pretty much it. You're going to rinse, wash, and repeat, and just do that until you reach the set number of rounds. And whoever at the end of the game has the most money is going to be the winner of worker placement. And that is how worker placement is played. Alrighty then, worker placement from Daiscami Publishing Company. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, the game's not going to be for everybody. It's a very, very light game. This is a gateway game. This is not going to be one that you're going to get out with the most hardcore of Euro fans. But granted, there is a good deal of strategy in there. Also, the humor is a bit risque. I read the card for you earlier, and that's just a taste of it. Moving on to the pros, though, I really enjoyed this game for a lot of different reasons. I like gateway games because a lot of the time I'm playing with people who are newer gamers and who aren't prepared for those 2-3 hour epic games, and I have no problem with that. And this is going to be a fantastic gateway game that you put up there next to Ticket to Ride or next to all of those other games, and then just get people into it. Very simple to understand, very easy to play, very easy to teach. There's a lot of different decisions to make, but nothing that's too terribly daunting, which I like a lot. Next, I love the humor in this game. Some of it is a little bit on the dirtier side, but not quite. Very, very funny game. You're going to want to read all the cards. I like the artwork in this game. I like everything about worker placement. Now, I always come up with pros and cons, and I really had a hard time doing it. This is a very solid, tight game that is a lot of fun to play. We played it with 2 players. We played it with 3 players. It was fun both times. But I will say, it scales all the way up to 5, and if you pay the extra, you can get the 8-player version of the game, which I'd love to check out. The game is going to drastically change from 2 to 8 players. That being said, 2 players is a lot of fun, 3 players is a lot of fun, and I think the more players you get, it's going to get turned into an even more tense game that more hardcore gamers would really enjoy. I'm rambling a little bit. Overall, though, I really enjoyed worker placement. This is one of my favorite games I've played this year, one of my favorite new games that I've played this year. It is a game that you need to check out if you enjoy worker placement games or if you were looking for a nice gateway game. Fantastic game from Daiscami Publishing. If you want to check out the Kickstarter, check out the link below. Tell them Bowers Game Corner sent you. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for your time, YouTube.
That was a review for worker placement. For more reviews and previews, check back at Bowers Game Corner. Also check out BoardGameExchange.com, the nationwide board game rental service.